Kommen wir zur letzten Partie dieser ersten Session der Happy Bet European Darts Open 2017. Er kommt aus England, er kommt aus Dartford, ist 49 Jahre alt, seit vielen Jahren mit dabei, stand mal Mitte der 90er Jahre im BDO WM Viertelfinale. Seit 2003 ist er bei der PDC, aktuell steht er auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 73. Die Rede ist von Superman, Matt Clark. Matt Clark trifft auf einen jungen Belgier, 22 Jahre alt, der noch so ein bisschen im Schatten der beiden Heibrechtsbrüder steht, aber er ist inzwischen auch einer aus den Top 50 als Nummer 47 der Welt und für ihn gilt immer, wenn er so Dart spielt, wie er tanzt, kann überhaupt nichts passieren. Die Rede ist vom Dreammaker Dimitri van den Bergh.
Well, Strictly come darting here in Leverkusen. The flamboyant, exciting Matt Clark against the shy and retiring Dimitri van den Bergh to round off our afternoon session. 7 matches so far. The last 3 of them have gone all the way to an 11th and deciding leg. Dimitri van den Bergh and Matt Clark. Well, each player is hoping it doesn't go that far, but we're hoping it does, Paul Nicholson.
We might just do, and Matt Clark, he loves a 6-5. He had 2 of them in qualifying, so he'll definitely be hoping to make it a little bit easier on himself. But as per Dimitri van den Bergh's walk-on music, I wonder who's going to be happy at the end of this one, Murph.
Like it. You were suggesting, gesticulating in the commentary box, that Matt Clark should introduce a bit of a Superman-style arm raise into his walk-on routine.
Why not? I mean, he is Superman. He's always been called Superman.
We've got the Ian White diamond dab, haven't we?
It's very similar. All you got to do is just gesticulate forward and say, is it a bird, is it a plane? No, it's Matt Clark.
We'll have a word with him after. If he wins, he could do it tomorrow. And that'll be against Simon Whitlock.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Matt to throw first. Game on.
As we are put underway by our resident train spotter, Bergh Bevans, who since Vienna last week decided to go train spotting in between Vienna and Dusseldorf, as you do.
Yeah, I think he's gone off the rails with that, Paul.
Excellent punditry from you there, Chris. Looking forward to this game, actually, because Van den Bergh was not in Vienna. He qualified for that one, so he'll want to get back on track here.
Why didn't I say that?
81.
And one thing that you see with the setup of Matt Clark is the transparent flight. There's not a lot of guys actually use those. They're very popular in the Oceanic region with Kiwis and Aussies. They love those.
100.
It's a very polarized opinion about the transparent flight. Some people don't want to see the flights, but there are other people who have them as bright as they can because they want to be able to see them. But if you look at the action of Matt Clark, since he started playing at Lakeside back in the 90s, nothing has changed with that action at all. It is solid as a rock.
I'd never really considered that point that you just made, Paul, about colours of flights and stems. Is there a preference for yourself? Is it a brighter colour make it more visible in the board, especially in the black areas?
Some people want to be able to see the flights so they can bash their darts against them and let them gather. Some people would like the illusion of space. And this all pretty much started with
53.
the black darts that were brought into the sport, because when you hit a 20, you can't see the barrel. It gives the illusion of making things bigger. One thing I have noticed, it looks like there's a slight barrel change for Matt Clark, which is very unusual. Maybe it's just a small tweak.
There are those that think that darts is a very simple game that people do their best to make very complicated, Paul.
Human beings can make anything complicated. They really can, especially
125.
a sport where you throw a bit of metal at a mat.
Well, I hope Dimitri van den Bergh doesn't throw anything at Matt in this one. I hope he just sticks to chucking it
58.
in the segments, which he's aiming for. 57 required for the Belgian. So it'll be 17 for double top to steal the break in the first leg. And that's what he's done, and it's a good start for the youngster, 22 years old.
Game on.
The king of the development tour, Dimitri van den Bergh. 8 victories he's picked up on the PDC Development Tour, 1 in the Challenge Tour back in 2013 when that was effectively a kind of youth tour as well.
140.
And he's had some decent results in senior games as well. Remember him knocking out James Wade in Gibraltar not so long ago. Matt Clark qualified for Gibraltar as well, and Sindelfingen, and won in his first round games on each of those occasions, so he'll be hoping to carry on that run.
That's one of the reasons why we look forward to this kind of fixture, because both guys have played in Europe this year multiple times, so they're used to the temperature and what the stage brings. And I think this is a decent draw time-wise, being late in the afternoon. You finish the game around 5 o'clock local time.
96.
And if you can get through, go and have some dinner at a regular time and get a good night's sleep. Doesn't mess with your routine whatsoever.
Van den Bergh with a sensible routine there. The reason he went down to the treble 19 area is because 95 left him a finish where 100 wouldn't have.
Well, we have seen some suspect counting this afternoon from a couple of guys, but that was impeccable mathematics from Dimitri van den Bergh. And a player of his quality, you would expect that. He left the 170. If he'd hit the 260s, I'm not sure he would have gone for it. But a nice setup is very likely.
81.
That'll do.
Yeah, speaking of counting, not least a mess from Jermaine Watamina in the deciding leg of his match against Stefan Zietman. Had 76 left. The first start went in, the big one.
Dimitri required 89.
Decided to go for treble 17 rather than 25 bull. Missed it, and his opponent stepped in. Now van den Bergh looking to bed double 16 to double his lead.
57.
Unfortunately, Matt Clark's on a bogey number. So van den Bergh will come back for 32.
Was about 20 points difference in the average.
Dimitri requires 32.
Bit of a gulf in class so far between this pair. And van den Bergh deservedly opens up a two-leg advantage.
Matt to throw first.
There's a bit of aggression in the game of van den Bergh today. As if to say, I'm not happy that I wasn't here last week. I don't like missing tournaments. But what I do like about the van den Bergh dart is there's a proper thump when the dart hits the board.
134.
And a few guys today where it's gone in and wobbled a bit. You just don't seem to get that with Dimitri's. They're just going at a lovely pace. Nice thump.
Is that about the equipment
58.
or the throw, or a combination of both?
It's a combination of the two. It's not a light dart. I think he's got a lot of force behind the shoulder as well.
Matt Clark does have a more loopy kind of throw, doesn't he? If you watch, he's
57.
sort of lobbing the darts rather than firing them out.
That's one of the guys who was in qualifying last night for the Home Nation qualifier, Eric Toutfest. We saw him a few weeks ago. Arguably, he's the one that throws them the hardest. When he throws the darts to the board, you know about it. But I mentioned Matt's throws just not changed at all through the years, but it is very loopy, but he still wants to gather the darts
68.
under each other as opposed to over the top. And it worked very effectively against Chris Dobie in qualifying. A good win, that 6-5, and same result against Paul Harvey as well.
Yeah, van den Bergh saw off Arjen Konterman and Christian Callinger in qualifying, without being disrespectful to those two men. Players you'd expect him to beat.
6.
Absolutely. Christian Callinger, I think last week he had a very good win against Wayne Jones in this exact fixture, last on a Friday afternoon.
97.
But it's fair to say that Wayne Jones didn't actually play his best.
Vandenberg first to a finish against a throw. And Matt Clark really needs to find a treble with this last start. He does that.
110.
This would sting. It's still possible. Double 16, which he hit before.
78. Matt, you require
See the frustration on the face of Vandenberg. Can the cool demeanour of Matt Clark take out this now 63 points left? Not sure if that flight is blocking the bull. He's got to move, so it must have been. Bullseye to get on the board.
37.
Bit too much kryptonite in that bullseye for him to hit it.
Yeah, even Superman couldn't fly that one in. And now the Dream Maker.
Shot on the third
Well,
leg.
he's giving
Dimitri
his
Vandenberg.
opponent a bit of a nightmare here, isn't
Dimitri
he?
to throw first. Game on.
3-0 on throw. All going so well for Dimitri Vandenberg so far.
Well, we get a little glance at the idiosyncrasies of dart players when the side camera looks at the defeated player from the previous leg. You can see the little dabbing of the darts on the top of the flights and rubbing his fingers with wax. The things that dart players do to just get that little bit of extra edge. You've seen the use of chalk from Robbie Green. All these things are legal. You can take a towel on stage when it's hot.
Yeah, John Part used to attach a towel to himself, didn't he? Used to see Phil Taylor delve into his pockets often between throws to add a little bit of grip to his fingers. Nothing new, is it?
Not at all. It's been going on for years. You go back to the days of, you know, Keith Deller in his prime. When he was finished a match, the board was white. So much chalk. Looked more like a classroom that had been done, you know, after a Shakespeare lecture.
140.
Might have been a little tactic from old Mr. Deller.
Yeah, because there are as many people out there who like using chalk as people who don't.
140.
Well, good response from Vandenberg to the 140, matching his opponent. Down to a finish again before Matt Clark, who again you feel needs a treble in this visit.
60.
Well, the way things are going in this contest, Dimitri Vandenberg is the general Zod of Matt Clark's world at the moment. He's just got the owning of him, really. 66 remain. Another one of those will be fine, but he might go downstairs instead.
91.
Lovely setup for a double, which has been his friend in this match already, Murph.
Certainly has. And Matt Clark's not going to take out a huge check out, so Vandenberg will take aim at double 16 for a 4-leg cushion.
52.
Well, there's a hush over the arena here of expectancy. This is tricky. Oh, it's very good though. Lovely adjustment because the first dart's a marker.
Game on.
It does block the top half of the bed, but he can still go for it. Second dart, he would admit, was not thrown well, but the third one, spot on.
Well, you can't blame the crowd for having a
96.
bit of quiet because they have been very, very vocal for a Friday afternoon session. Certainly in the games involving the two German players, both of which went to last leg deciders as Vandenberg kicks off the fifth leg of the match, and he really is threatening the prospect of our first whitewash here. Yeah, Seatman through, but Schindler went out. Both of those matches, the crowd heavily involved, supporting their men.
85.
There's plenty more German involvement later, especially when Allenstein and Horvath go head-to-head. There's a guaranteed German win there. I wonder who they're going to be shouting for there.
99.
Yeah, also Christian Bunzer in action this evening. That's the second match on the menu.
What's your pick of the night's matches, Murph?
Possibly the first one. Justin Pipe against James Wade. Got to be up there.
140.
I like the look of King versus Viljanen. Both quarter-finalists last week. And Viljanen showed his hand last week. He showed that he's got some class. Mervyn King has got a very tricky game
94.
later on this evening.
And there was also the incredible draw that pitted Vincent van der Voort and Cristo Reyes against each of the top 2 ranked players from the European qualifier last night, meeting in the first round. And whoever wins will be rewarded
125
by a tie with Michael van Gerwen tomorrow.
128.
Well, Vincent van der Voort probably thinks he's stepped on a black cat with some of the draws he's got lately. But there's a 60 needed for the Belgian to leave the bullseye. Now Matt Clark's got a great opportunity to get on the board.
Yeah, he'd just love to get one leg in the win column just to avoid the embarrassment of being bageled. But he still might be.
Dimitri require 36.
I'm not sure if Dimitri likes donuts, but it'd be one leg closer to 1 if he hits double 18. It's a perfect marker. Double 9. Oh, right on the wire on the inside. Lovely thrown dart. The bagel, the donut, whatever you want, it's still possible.
Certainly is, and the way that Van den Bergh's been playing, you wouldn't bet against him now.
Well, there's this thing with Dimitri, isn't there, where he
140.
seems to always play well on a Friday, and then a different player turns up on a Saturday. I think he secretly is saying to himself, come on, let's put a run together. Let's make
96.
a quarter-final, you know, make a statement about what I can do on a Sunday. The winner of this, yes, plays Simon Whitlock. And I know he's had wrist injuries, but last week there were signs of real improvement from the Wizard. So it's looking like Van den Bergh's going to be too strong for Matt today, but I think that Van den Bergh versus Whitlock, that's a bit of a tasty tie.
Well, yeah, I know you're an Aussie, Paul, and if Matt Clark was to recover this, it would be the most surprising comeback since Harold Bishop reappeared on Ramsey Street, wouldn't it?
That was a pretty surprising comeback. Better than Bobby Ewing in Dallas.
Doesn't look like we're going to have the drama that we've watched in the last 3 matches. Van den Bergh closing out the most comfortable of victories and doing it in some style.
65.
Well, Van den Bergh's first start in this match has been far superior. It really has. He's left himself so much room in that 60 to finish off the visit.
46.
And look at that.
You require 40.
A perfect 165 to set up tops for the game.
Well, double top for the Dream to complete a dream start to the European Darts Open here in Leverkusen. A 6-0 win. Matt Clark just was not at the races in that one. Van den Bergh gets the job done. Bit of an apologetic handshake, but no need to apologise. A 6-0 victory for the Belgian youngster. He goes through to take on Simon Whitlock tomorrow. We've got 8 more matches this evening though, so stay tuned on PDC TV or wherever you are watching. Justin Pipe against James Wade, one of the highlights, as is Vincent van der Voort against Cristo Reyes. Van den Bergh will speak to Elmar Volker, and you can join us later on this evening for the last 8 matches of round 1 at the Happy Bet European Darts Open.
Applaus für Matt Clark. Superman, schön, dass hier in Leverkusen mit dabei war. Und ich darf euch schon mal sagen, bevor Dimitri gleich nochmal zu mir kommt, wer auf der European Tour als Zuschauer schon mit dabei war, der weiß, nach einer Session müssen wir den Saal einmal freiräumen. Ihr könnt gerne im Raucherbereich bleiben, natürlich auch nach außen treten und dann zurückkommen. Um 18 Uhr ist wieder Einlass. Dimitri, ein Traumstart für den Dreammaker, kann man das so sagen, mit einem 6-0?
Das ist auf jeden Fall ein guter Anfang, ja, das sicher.
6-0 klingt, wenn man das so liest, immer so glatt, alles super gelaufen. War es so? Hat es sich gut angefühlt für dich?
Der Tag war für mich nicht gut angelaufen, aber so wie es jetzt gelaufen ist, ich nehme das mit nach morgen. Ich fühle mich da fröhlich drüber, hatte es nicht erwartet.
Was für ein Ziel hast du